Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is the weekend review. Let's dive right into it. I always like to talk about SmackDown. AJ Styles is the official number one contender. Cody said stuff, but nobody gave a shit. I do want to talk about Bailey Naomi. Actually, though, with the way it finished, maybe we should talk about him first. Bailey Naomi had a really solid match this week. Great back and forth. I had read reports that it was going to get time, and those reports certainly didn't seem false. It did seem like these women got a generous amount of time. The problem is it was a non-finish. Tiffany Stratton would come in and lay them both out and then hit them both with the prettiest moonsault ever. So yeah, I'm thinking triple threat at Backlash, but we did see, though, Damage Control in the Skybox, where it was also intruded upon by Bianca and Jade looking to challenge Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championships. So a lot going on there in that segment. How do we feel about, prospectively, a triple threat, Bailey, Naomi, and Tiffany, and Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca and Jade at Backlash for championships? How do we feel about that?
I think it would be really cool if we had three women's matches at Backlash.
Yeah.
You get both major women's titles defended as well as the women's tag titles. That would be pretty great. Uh,
Yeah.
I really hate that Tiffany is just constantly going to be in women's championship conversations going forward. Um,
Yes.
but I guess if I kind of do that thing where we pretend that the performer isn't a MAGA piece of shit, Um, even then, the optics of this were bad because you had the girl whose entire gimmick is like Barbie doll, basically, like spoiled brat Barbie doll,
Yeah.
interrupting a match that was genuinely cooking between a black woman and a Latina. I just and they earned their way there too. Like those two actually earned that spot. They earned the main event. Naomi literally beat you last week to earn her shot at this title, and you ruined it. And you're going to get a shot at the title by being obnoxious, basically, like disrupting shit. Like that's a horrible message to send.
Yeah, being a Karen without all of the charm and the charisma of a Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
You know.
Mark
Anyway.
saw it. Mark noticed. It is weekend review number 69, taking place on 420.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible the way this worked out. And no, Mark, we didn't plan it this way. It just worked out fantastically.
Serendipity is good to me. And so we've
Sarah,
got
take a dip in me.
later. Anyway. So we go from that. I mean, Santos Escobar beat Carlito, who is just chomping at the bit for that segment where he gets to betray Ray. And Ray just gets to be like, no mas, no more partners, no mas.
Why, Carlito? You're the reason that Santos betrayed me, and now you do too. Why?
Yeah, he was a home wrecker only to get in on the stabby stab. I don't understand. You ruined a family for nothing.
You
Although
know
I
what
will.
though? You know what though? If there's a situation like that in real life, you just have to point to the person getting wrecked, and it's clearly they're the problem.
Oh my God! First of all, I need to welcome all the homies in here. Mark, Javaris, Foster. Fucking love you, bros. Let's fucking do this. So yeah, Santos, man. I'll
I'm
tell you,
sorry,
I
but
saw
like
him.
if you're cheating on your wife with a girlfriend, and your wife finds out and divorces you, and then your girlfriend finds out and leaves you, and they both quote unquote betray you. Maybe it was you that did the betraying all along. Maybe you're the piece of shit, Ray.
Yeah, Oscar. So with Santos winning this, man, I know he wouldn't win in a feud, but I was just thinking, man, I want him to challenge Cody for the title. I want him to challenge a world champion for the title this fucking year. Because even as like a one pay-per-view feud, I just want to see him, with that fucking drip, man. I want to see Santos come out and be like, I'm taking it. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And he's like, I know. It'd be amazing. It'd be absolutely amazing. And honestly, Cody's going to need all the help that he can get. Why do
Bro,
you think
wouldn't
we
it
put
be
the ladies first
fucking
first?
hilarious if Ray, quote unquote, saw it coming this time and attacked Carlito before Carlito could attack him, and then footage reveals that it actually was just Santos that attacked Dragon.
Oh, that would be incredible.
That would be insane. I would love that so much.
So yeah, I for one think that we need to protect Santos at all costs, because I'll tell you what else Carlito's doing outside of ruining a family, which is bad enough. The slander that he's put on Santos. He attacked directly. Like literally, I still think about the segment where he was first telling security. He must have. I mean, who else could have done it? Wow, bro, fucking shameless, shameless. Santos is an innocent man, and I would like to report to everybody that we were going to be prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law. I talked to David Otunga about it, and trust me, folks, our options limitless. So yeah, at least for now, Santos got the win.
Speaking of David Otunga, I heard from, through the grapevine that it's not just all about him. It's also all about the power.
Damn, way to break the scoop, bud. So yeah, Santos, fantastic. Can't wait to see him, shut LWO down again. Can't wait to see Carlito be sour about this again. So after that, what do we do here?
Super Blue is in chat and he said LA Knight got screwed, and then Javaris was like, for fuck's sake, Super Blue, please not now. No, Javaris, let him cook. He's right. LA Knight did get screwed by that broomstick.
Yeah. Why haven't you had it removed? We have told you every goddamn week.
Bro, I have never seen a grown-ass man with a more rigid spine than LA Knight.
Yeah. I mean,
it refuses to bend.
Yeah, that posture is death, my guy. Okay? Get the stick removed. And with that, God, all this talk about sticks while we're about to stick it to the man, because the Street Profits are the number one contenders for the new WWE Tag Team titles, which are fucking mint. Okay? These belts looked gorgeous. Like, beg pardon? But no, man, look, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
The Raw Tag titles, from what I can remember, they look like, I don't know, silver dimes with some ketchup squirted on them or some shit. These look like tag team titles. Like, I don't hate the Raw titles. I think anything's better than, the battling helmets and shit and the copper pennies or whatever the fuck they were doing that one time. But yeah, like, these SmackDown tag titles, I thought they were dope. So what'd you think?
Well, I think that these new titles look pretty freaking incredible, honestly. I do think that the new ones look better than the previous ones. Or I should say, when I say the previous ones, the SmackDown ones look better than the Raw ones, is what I'm really saying. I wouldn't say it's by a massive margin, but I would still give the edge to the Raw ones. And I feel like the Raw ones kind of remind me of the tag titles that like Miz and Morrison held that one time.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas the SmackDown ones look, or the Raw ones rather, the SmackDown. Oh God, I feel like I'm getting mixed up. The SmackDown ones remind me of the ones Miz and Morrison held that one time. The Raw ones look completely different. They look unlike any tag titles I feel like I've ever seen before, and I do like them a lot. I think they look really cool.
Yeah, and so again, Waller and Theory are our tag champs, but the Street Profits are going to be the first challengers. The four-way, I felt like, got a considerable amount of time. I think this had like 2 commercial breaks in it. I'm like, damn. But yeah, they ultimately got the win. I think pinning, I want to say Garza. And so yeah, they're gonna challenge. I'd love if the Street Profits just won. I feel like it's been, dude, so long since they've been tag team champions. I'm like, look, if they're not gonna win tag gold, like, either jumpstart one of them having a singles career, or what are we doing? So I kind of hope they win, but I have my doubts. It should be a fun match though. After that, let's see here. I think really, let me just see if I'm not missing anything else big. Yeah, I think just after that, because there's stuff that we're not just going to linger on. We already talked about Bailey, Naomi. We already acknowledged that AJ's number one contender. Cody responded, nobody cared. And yeah, Santos beat Carlito. So yeah, the only really big thing to talk about now in my mind is Solo Sikoa continuing to take freaking charge, my guy. Now, unfortunately, because of this, a very good man and a very good father, from what I've been told, got attacked for no reason by Solo. That, of course, is Kevin Owens, a bloody mess. And I hate it, and I do not acknowledge Solo as my tribal chief for this transgression, for this violation. You know, at least when Roman would beat the crap out of KO, it was always sanctioned. You know, and always enough to send a message, not this. Oh, and they hit his car with their car, so they're clearly I don't know. Tony D, by the
Unhinged.
way, beg pardon.
Unhinged.
Unhinged. And Tony D, by the way, when I was talking mob shit, this is what we're talking about. This mob shit right
Yes.
here.
This is
Like,
so much better at just effective mob shit than Tony D and his family have ever pulled off.
period. Period. I mean, look, you got them finding the guy that they want to send a message to in KO, and then you go from that, like sending a message to doing a full-blown hit. And like, you know, no accents, no hullabaloo. Like, yeah, I just
They even got the
I
suits
yeah,
on.
even got the suits on. Like, yeah, this is more mob shit than the mob gimmick. Come on, NXT, get a notepad, take some notes, do it. What are you, still nod? But yeah, so Solo wanting to take KO out. I did not like this at all. Again, though, I do think this could be pretext for KO going to Raw,
Fuck.
being with Sammy. Like, you guys know I've been saying this a while, and to be honest, of all the weird predictions I've pulled out of my ass, this one I think actually has substance. Like, I can see it, but we'll see. Triple H might think a bit differently. And Kevin Owens did not deserve this, and fuck you, Solo. And I really miss Roman Reigns, but you know who else misses Roman Reigns? The crowd, because there was a "We Want Roman" chant at some point. Solo is getting legit heat. Partner, how do we feel about the heat that Solo's getting?
I mean, it feels almost Dominic Mysterio esque.
Yes, yes.
They
I,
weren't
I
letting him
loved what you said.
talk.
Yeah, yes. God, we didn't see Jimmy, so I got to give kudos to him to be there. Way to really sell the attack. You know, this isn't something you come back to work all smiles, being like, "No yeet" after 1 week. You know, you need to sit your ass down. So yeah, they're looking dominant. Paul Heyman is still just petrified. I feel like everybody's playing their role really well. And how do you feel like how they're handling Tamatonga so far? Because I still don't know what MFT stands for. Did you ever find that out?
No, nobody knows what MFT stands for except for Solo. I mean, I don't even know for sure if Tamatonga himself knows what Solo's referring to him as.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is actually one of the better Super Blue takes because he's actually going after KO, which I do hate, but he did have a great clap back here. Maybe KO shouldn't have walked in front of him to celebrate with Cody. I think he'll get away with it. He did do that, and he was a bit sassy about it, as only Kevin Owens can be. That's why we love him, but I actually see your point on this one, Super Blue. I'll give you that one. But yeah, I feel like Solo's been great. Tama, again, I like how they're handling him. I just hope he doesn't get exposed soon. But then again, he might even be perfect for the WWE style, man. Do you think he's going to adapt okay there, or do you think he'll even be better there than he was in New Japan?
I think he fits better with that than he did in New Japan, honestly. I feel like
Yeah,
he felt like in New Japan, to me at least, he felt like a promising WWE prospect.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
in WWE, I feel like he can actually kind of see and fulfill that potential,
yes,
even at
yeah. I would agree
his
with you.
advanced age. I think he might even be in his 40s at this point. I don't know. He's at least close to 40, if not over.
Yeah. So, how soon before we think Roman comes back? Or you think they're going to try and drag this out to like pay per view
Dude,
after Backlash?
it can't be soon enough at this point. I miss my boy.
I know, I miss him too, dude. The step down from him to Cody, sinkhole, sinkhole, baby. All right, that
It's
pretty much
like those
covers.
videos that everyone was making in Minecraft after they raised the build limit from 128 to 256, where people would literally build up to the new build limit of 256 and jump off and just fall all the way to bedrock. That's what we're dealing with here from Roman to Cody.
You are, as per usual, so right. All right. Let's talk about NXT next, I think. How do we feel about Trick Williams definitively handling fake friend ass? I
I mean,
I, I
you
feel
say
so good about
definitively handling, but what's to stop Mello from causing him to lose next week again anyway?
it. Let me pontificate about this. I'm going to say wounded pride.
Do you think
Wounded
that'll be
pride.
enough?
No, but
Yeah.
it might be different with Trick.
Yeah, no, that's my entire issue that I've taken this whole time is like, oh, you can have a cage match with Mello, but unless it is somehow going to get rid of Mello off of NXT and out of the NXT arena entirely, you're not beating Ilya next week. Trick,
Listen, man.
yeah, like Trick's good enough to beat Ilya in a fair fight, but Mello's going to help him win, and Ilya's not above accepting that help.
Well, then, can I ask you a follow-up question? This is actually more fantasy booking than anything. How would you feel if you're right, but because this is only spring break in week 1, Trick and Mello have a match week 2, and it's a loser leaves NXT thing, and then I feel like Trick would just beat Mello 3 straight times to really put him over, and then Mello would probably go to SmackDown on Friday.
That wouldn't work though, because the draft happens before week 2.
True. Yeah, true, because it's only the 2 nights. Damn. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how you get yourself out of this one, because I did think it was curious that, Trick and Mello were doing, or excuse me, Trick and Ilya were having their title match week 1. I did find that suspicious. So I'm like, those are like your top guys. You got nothing for them for week 2, and I just feel like it's going to snowball into a week 2 thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I don't
look,
know.
if they do just say, "Oh, Mello was, in the hospital or something, and that's why he couldn't make it to prevent Trick from winning," I guess that's one way of writing your way around it, but it just feels like the laziest way of writing your way around it.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with you.
Like if you're gonna write your way out of, Mello just having the bloodlust for never wanting Trick to win the world title ever, then you can literally write that. You can literally write Trick overcoming Mello to such a degree that it removes Mello from NXT entirely.
Yeah,
Especially if Mello's just going to get drafted anyway. Why would they not do that?
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how you get yourself out of this because you're absolutely right. Like, yeah, Mello can just
Maybe,
mess Trick's.
honestly, maybe it's because there's legitimate precedent in NXT for someone losing a loser leaves NXT match and showing up the next week anyway.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
You know?
And then maybe that's how they'd get their unsanctioned match, like Trick and Mello. If Mello was the reason Trick lost, it's like, oh, I'm not a member of NXT,
Yeah.
but I need to whoop your ass one more time, and then we get our unsanctioned match.
Yeah, like that's my whole thing. If Mello is legally or physically able to be a factor, Trick is never going to be able to beat Ilya. It is going to require Mello being removed from the building, banned from the building, like in a fucking like put him in a cage, like the shark cage matches they used to have. Like that's the type of shit you have to do to prevent Mello from preventing Trick from beating Ilya.
Yeah, I don't.
Because
But you
Mello's
feel like Trick has
bloodlust
to
is
beat Ilya though,
insatiable.
because
Yeah, he absolutely does.
yeah.
That's why
So
I don't like the way NXT's booked this.
yeah, like you got to figure this out NXT. I don't know what to tell you because he just threw me for a loop. So if I don't have the answers, good luck. You know what else I don't have the answers for? Why Dijak can't win a fucking match? He lost to Dar this week. Now I like metaphor, and I even like the idea of Dar challenging Oba at some point, just to be that real chicken shit, mosquito type heel, where he's just like
Yeah,
this smaller guy that Oba should be able to swat no problem, and he just continues to be like a thorn in his side and a real pest, and has the real opportunity to take the championship from him. But then of course Oba just squashes that challenge down. I'm open to that, but I want my Haas fight, man. I want my meaty men slapping that meat like I was promised. I want Oba versus Dijak for all the fucking marbles, baby, 1-on-1. So NXT, what are we doing? I can't believe you had Dijak loses after I did a career-making performance. Really, they all three did in different ways at Stand and Deliver. What are we doing? So I don't know, man. I know you saw the finish of the match as a whole. Did you enjoy this match this week?
yeah, yeah. I love Dar. I was upset that Oro Mensa. I forget his name a lot. It's a tough one for me to remember. I was
Yeah,
upset
or
though that
or
he distracted Dijak, but I don't know if you caught this. He distracted him with a T-bar mask.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't catch that. That's really cool. Yeah, Mensa. I like metaphor. We even know Mensa had a segment later in the show because I think Oba opened a door at one point to leave after giving like brief comments on potential on Ivar. I think it was. And yeah, he hit Mensa in the head,
Oh,
and he
that
was
was
like,
Oba? I thought, you know what? I didn't see that it was Oba, so I just kind of headcanoned that it was Dijak getting revenge for making him lose the match earlier.
no, yeah, I think it was Oba. Yeah, from what I recollect. Yeah.
Wow.
Um.
That's funny. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is funny.
Yes.
I only say it's
Yes.
unfortunate because I want to root for Oba as a babyface. So, like, him doing petty shit like that makes me feel like they want him to be a heel, and I hate that.
Yeah. I will say, man, speaking of the draft, I'll tell you somebody that I would not mind there at all because he looked good here this week to me, and that is Ivar. Ivar had a very interesting segment with Josh Briggs because Briggs is getting checked out in the trainer's room,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, listen, man, I get it. It happens. Look, just sit this out, get rest. I'll take out Oba, and I'll give you the first shot, okay?" And
And
Briggs
Briggs was
was
like,
like, "Oh
no,
no, you don't."
you're not allowed. I want to go first.
Oh, you're probably pouting so hard right now to complete the impression. That's great.
I was. My
Um,
my my bottom lip was definitely out.
oh my God. So yeah, he's like, I'm a real man. I can't have you cut in front of me. And Ivar, who was being a respectful, thoughtful, considerate veteran, passing on that advice was just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what? Yeah, he was really chill about it. He wasn't aggro like he was with Sammy a few weeks ago on Raw. So I like the disposition better, where he's just like this veteran that's like quietly and more subtly throwing the weight around. Compared to like, the prototypical, oh, I'm angry and I'm big, and what are you gonna do about it?
I love
Which
that you couldn't even say that with a straight face all the way through.
because it made me think about Tobias when he was offering for that cop role.
Fuck.
And what are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
It
So,
just gives such like Hogan vibes, though.
yeah.
What are you gonna do about it, brother?
Oh, I don't know, Hulkster. Look, fuck. All right. So clearly,
Holy shit.
clearly, okay. Ivar works really good in the NXT scheme. I wouldn't be disappointed at all seeing them get drafted in NXT. I thought the match he had with Briggs was solid, and I like that he won.
Yeah.
Because I know he's getting the match with Oba first, but I like just seeing him look dominant because I don't think he's
Yeah.
won on Raw lately. So, yeah,
It
well,
was
like,
good shit.
how would you feel about Ivar getting drafted in NXT? You open to that idea?
Not only am I open to it, but I fully expect and embrace it.
Excellent. Look at us being on the same page. I fucking love us. I'm telling you.
Especially
All
because,
right.
fuck Ray Rowe.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Oh my God. There are actually a lot of good things from NXT that I'm trying to figure out what do we want to talk about last. And I think I shouldn't assume that it's obvious, but I think you and I really like this one segment and kind of what they did with this one character this week. So I'm going to try and save that. Tell me about Josh Briggs. Ivar, what do we think about? Oh my God. No, I'm not even going to ask you what you think first because I need to just do my own celebrating. Ariana Grace, the beacon of NXT, a beacon of hope, of regality, of just utter winsomeness as a lady. It's
Winsomeness.
unbelievable. And listen, look,
Wait, I thought that
honestly,
word was reserved for Utami now. Hold on.
listen, you're right. And to be honest, I actually did tweet at Utami today that I think she's the most beautiful woman in the world. But that's beside the point. The point is, okay, that Ariana is gonna fucking change Georgina's life. Georgina, whatever you had going on before with the roses and the cop hat and the weird kind of BDSM phase you had going on, and then JC and then all that, forget it. Forget it. You are about to enter the fucking stratosphere right now, okay? Because you and Ariana are going to the top. I'm talking women's tag team champions. I am talking, she might even get you to that NXT women's title. Well, let's slow our roll. Let's start with that women's North American championship. Ariana, of course, is going to be the NXT women's champion. And she's great. And I think she's doing good. She's doing really good. And I just wish Georgina would have just embraced the dress. Like the changes she made were fine, I guess, but that wasn't the original dress. And we know Ariana liked the original dress. So how do you feel about this budding relationship? Do we think we've got strange bedfellows happening here, or do you think Gigi can't wait to get away from her?
I love almost everything about this. The only thing that I don't love about it is I wish that we got more of it. I wish that we got more of actually seeing her teaching Gigi, buying things for Gigi, showing this sort of lifestyle to Gigi, that kind of stuff. It feels like they're really slow playing it, and I just want more. I want it more, and I want it faster, and I want to see them team, and I want to see Gigi maybe even work a little bit of a newer style that's maybe even more of like an old school style, the way that Ariana kind of works low key. I
Yeah,
think that Gigi
really
is an
cool.
excellent worker. And I think that she can talk for herself, but Ariana, as far as the character work goes, makes her an incredible promo. Even I couldn't even tell you if she's a good natural talker, just 1v1 like interview style, because she just is in character constantly. And I love that for
Yeah,
her. But that
yeah,
also, that could support the both of them. I also appreciate the sort of nuance of Ariana, because we even have like moments, like I think you even brought this up last week, where she was added to the NXT panel last minute, or the stand and deliver panel at last minute. And once that was pointed out to her, she was like, "I was always meant to be here," and just the little like nuances, like little lines like that. I don't even know if that was like scripted for her, or if that was ad lib or whatever. But not only does it make her feel delusional, which is the point, but it makes her feel delusional in a realistic way, because that is legitimately how women who were raised as pageant kids think,
yeah,
because they were taught to think that way their whole lives. Their moms, the pageant moms, convinced them their entire lives that they are special, and that that is their destiny, and that they are, this, sort of almost like chosen one mentality that a lot of boys have. And like, so then like when they get, you know, good things happen in their lives, they don't think of it as something they should be grateful for. They think of it as something that was inevitable, something that was pre-written almost, predestined.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like the delusion of the Ariana Grace character, I think is really well done and really well nuanced, and taking it to the level of now she's trying to introduce that to Gigi, and Gigi, who has lived in the real world her entire life, is immediately going to be like rejecting it and not willing to go along with it. But I'm looking forward to the stage where Gigi realizes that she can benefit from this and starts embracing it because of that. That's where I want to get to immediately.
yeah. I'll tell you, because I'm just looking at the things I do want to talk about and the things that we could just skip. Next thing I want to talk about, just looking at this recap, Tony D and No Quarter Catch Crew, and they found the out for Gulak, who
Oh
is one of
God.
Rouse's allegations just might be done. They're
Yeah.
now creatively saying that the family might have killed Gulak. Now, here's the thing. I'm good with that. Again, I wanted mob stuff, but I wish you would have turned this. And I know you don't want to give Gulak the screen time, but you could have even like put a hoodie like over his head or whatever to like cover his face. You didn't have to like really show his likeness, I guess. And you could have done a cinematic where you pushed a car into a river or something. I would have liked to have seen it in this case. I know it's usually show not tell, and they literally in my mind did kind of tell here. And so yeah, I just wish we could have seen it, but that's heavily implied. You wanted us to take care of Gulag. I wish I knew why. Maybe because they wanted it to be like a younger faction. And I know Gulag was on the older side. I don't know. And I know Charlie Dempsey's pretty young. I don't know what their reasoning would be as characters. But them getting into a feud with the family for the Heritage Cup, it seems like a different take for the Heritage Cup, feuding with a team like the D'Angelos. So yeah, that's gonna be something. You have any thoughts about this? I'm actually intrigued where this will go, and I do want to see Charlie Dempsey in the ring more.
Um, I I like that Charlie's getting a big opportunity, but he already kind of flubbed, it felt like to me, in this first promo.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed, but there was a really awkward moment where there was like a long pause, and it seemed like Charlie was supposed to say something and he like forgot his line. And
Damn.
it felt like they kind of had to do like some improv for Tony to get Charlie to say what he was supposed to say to kind of work towards it. And they got there eventually, but it was just a really awkward moment.
Yeah.
I obviously Charlie will grow into this role, or at least I would hope that he would grow into this role, but it just feels like it's like he's not quite ready for it yet. But he was kind of thrust into it because of the Gulak stuff. So I'm hoping that this is a very like sink or swim situation, and I'm just hoping that he's able to swim in it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm curious where it'll go. I honestly thought that Tony would just be getting drafted next week. But we'll have to see because I just don't see how you find the path back to Dragunov. And even when Trick beats him, like I know Tony D and Trick kind of work together to screw Mello out of the stand and deliver contendership. But I think that's a very tenuous connection to get Tony D in the ring with Trick. So yeah, I'm just thinking maybe he does a quick thing with these guys and then maybe gets drafted. I don't know. I think they could be okay on the main roster. It'd be very interesting what Triple H's vision for them would be compared to Shawn Michaels. So let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I think Dragunov versus Javon Evans. Dude, I got to get your extended take on Javon Evans. Obviously, everybody's psyched about him. 19. We said last week that he's the wrestler for the Zoomers. They NXT in their mind, they gave him a big test this week, had him answer Dragunov's open challenge. I would have liked this to get 5 more minutes. I think it was too quick for me, but I think they really that was intentional. Like that was a feature, not a bug, so to speak, because I think they wanted to show the gap just in power and experience between Dragunov and Evans.
Yeah.
But I still think it was a great moment for Evans. What did you think about this?
Yeah, it was a great moment. I love that like the entire locker room came spilling out and they were all fighting each other, but Javon Evans both had the wit and the ability to not only think to come in from the other side, but to springboard. From what I heard, he springboarded over the announce desk, like from the barricade to the ring, basically.
Yes.
Which is nuts.
Yes.
To get into the ring though by himself and get that moment of spotlight. I loved that. Thought that was really cool and beautiful. And yeah, the match obviously showed that he is incredibly talented, and they've really made damn sure to make sure that everyone knows that he's not on Ilya's level yet, even though I'm far more entertained by him than I've ever been by Ilya.
Yes, fair enough. He wins with a torpedo Moscow. And I think looking over NXT and the stuff that we'd, skip over because I'm not wasting breath on these fools, we're in pretty good shape. The only other thing I want to talk about, because I did save this for last, I am really starting to like Tatum Paxley.
Yes, I'm so glad that you saved that for last.
Yeah, because I just feel like with the way we both responded to her in the Discord on Tuesday, I'm like, okay, this is definitely a talking point more than anything else, probably. Loved her video package, loved her rationale about her fixation and what she really loves and this and that being the NXT Women's Championship, that she was content to, chase everywhere. I mean, taking Momo's sentiments about the red belt quite literally for the NXT Women's title. Just every champion I'm obsessing over because I'm obsessing over the championship. And she says, that's not enough anymore. It needs to be me. Very interesting that Tatum's here, because I remember when they wanted to do something with Tatum and Diamond Mine, then she had the kind of the separate relationship with Ivy Nile, and now she's here. I mean, talk about a 180-degree turn, but I think one that's really made her one of the most compelling people on the roster, at least to me. What did you think about this video package and just everything Tatum did this week?
Very interesting. I think we kind of figured that she was just kind of following the title from a very early, stage of her new gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't shy away from that. I'm glad that they weren't afraid to be predictable here, because I know that there are a lot of instances in wrestling where whoever's writing it will see fans have figured out what they're doing and will be like, no, I can't have it be predictable. I have to change it now. And they didn't shy away from that. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
As far as her as a performer, I thought she was fucking great here. I'm surprised actually at how good of a promo she is. I thought this pre-tape really let her flex her promo muscles, and I was really impressed by them. Really looking forward to her next match, because I feel like other than her finisher, which is the tequila shot that we see Suzu Suzuki use all the time,
yeah,
I don't really know much about her as an in-ring performer, because I've only really been paying attention to her since she started copying Lyra's shit.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what her as an individual, like with her own identity, looks like as a performer,
Yeah, it's a
other
really
than
intriguing question.
that tequila shot finisher.
Yes, yes.
So
And you know what's interesting to me is kind of Lyra's response to all this because Tatum beats Thea Hale because of a distraction from Jasmine Nix. So JC and her little entourage are still tormenting Thea. Still think JC and Thea are going to be the finals for the NA or the North American NXT Women's Championship. And so, if they do a tournament, I just feel like it's going to go the way of a tournament because it just always seems to be a tournament. So, Tatum got the win there, but then Lyra came out to try and get the jump on her. And then she said later on Twitter, I guess, quote tweeting Tatum's video, the video package that she got. She said, it was all a lie. And I'm like, girl, what? Like, I never got the impression that you really cared about Tatum. Like, you weren't mean to her in any way, but you weren't like glomping onto her either. It's like, oh, Tatum, what about personal space? Like, that doesn't seem like the sentence you convey about somebody saying it was all a lie. Maybe though, Lyra was starting to vibe with Tatum. And so maybe this hurts. Maybe she was about to finally let her in. Like, why can't we just have women love and care about each other? It's not that hard. God, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about Mariah and Mina, what Mariah might do. But yeah, I really wanted to love Lyra and Tatum. And now they're enemies definitively because of the NXT Women's title. And Roxanne doesn't really care about anything that's happening, makes fun of Ava a little bit, and yeah, Ava decides to put her in a triple threat with both Lyra and Tatum. I believe that's also on week 1 of Spring Break-In, so that's going to be next Tuesday. Low key hoping Tatum just wins, but I think Roxanne retains here. And then I think that's NXT because again, the other stuff, just people we do not care about. Not even going to bother, which leaves Raw. So let's see all on Raw. I mean, look, let's just start with the big news. We'll open with the actual opener and we'll try and end with the closer because I think those are the two big stories. Anything we can talk about in between, let's just see. Rhea vacating the women's title. Bro, I'm not going to ask you about how you felt about Rhea's promo or this segment. I thought it was fine. I will just ask you two questions, I guess, tangential to it. How do we feel if they commit to a Liv Morgan heel turn? And who do we think is going to be the women's champion next Monday? Do we think it's just going to be Liv, or do you have somebody else in mind?
well, first of all, I think they already have committed to a Liv Morgan heel run.
Yeah,
I think that was made very clear on Monday with her coming out to laugh at Rhea Ripley being injured. Like,
yeah,
baby faces don't do that. Even if the person who's injured is a heel, baby faces don't do that.
yeah,
Like there's no
yeah,
nuance there. That's just full blown heel.
yeah. I, you know, it's funny because I think Liv can pull it off. I really do, and maybe this will be to her what Bailey's heel turn was for Bailey. Because that I think really revitalized her career. I'm not saying Liv is flatlining by any means. I actually feel like she would have gotten a nice babyface reaction, but then again, Rhea's so over anyway. Maybe this was always going to be the plan. It'd be fascinating to see somebody turn heel when they feel like they're the hero of this story,
Yeah.
given that it's Liv coming back from an injury that Rhea caused. There's a lot of fascinating material to play with there, a lot of interesting ideas to play with. So we might have always gotten there, Liv being a heel in this program, just because again of how naturally over Rhea has become. But her kind of getting the heel turn this way because Rhea has to vacate, it's heartbreaking. 380 days. She was running with it. I still think Rhea, I've say it time and time and time again. I think she's honestly one of the best women in the world right now. And I think it's such a fascinating time where I feel like Joshi has such presence, in the wrestling world right now, and for good fucking reason. Even TJPW is kind of flexing a little bit with Miyu Watanabe as new champion. But I think in this age of Joshi, and that includes WWE, with Io and Asuka. And, I love Kyrie, but I can understand if people in ring are like a bit lower on her. But yeah, I just think in that age, Rhea really stands out as something special. And to see her be taken out like this with an injury, really sucks, man. It really sucks. Yeah, I'm open to the Liv heel turn. And again, as far as I go, yeah, I think they just give her the title. But then I don't know who Liv's first feud would be. That would be interesting. You got any ideas for?
Yeah, no, as far as the actual title itself goes, I am really not sure where they go with that, man. Because the fact that they're immediately crowning a new champion on Monday tells me that there aren't going to be any SmackDown women in contention for it. Because I was going to say, like, maybe Bianca, maybe Jade, maybe even Naomi. Is it like maybe even Tiffany? I'm not excited about that, but I can't write it off as a possibility. Could be a contender for that title. But like as of right now, I feel like Raw has a fucking barren women's division. Like
Yeah.
I don't think you want to put it on Becky Lynch.
No. No, that feels tired. And that's nothing against Becky, but we've been there
She just
before.
failed to win it from Rhea. So
Yeah.
now Rhea leaves and she scoops in and is like, ah, now that the one obstacle I couldn't overcome is gone, I can finally get this again. Like, that doesn't feel very babyface to me either.
The only reason I could see them doing that though, if the long-term goal was to get Liv and then have Rhea come back to face Liv, would be, Becky, I think it was like a month ago, she beat Liv on that one Raw and they shook hands and they were cool. But if Liv's committing to the heel turn now, a heel Liv should be able to beat Becky, right? And then that would give Liv a nice rub because she doesn't just win another title, she
Yeah.
beats freaking Becky Lynch to do it.
Yeah.
So that could be one reason why they'd have Becky win. I don't totally discount that idea personally.
Personally, I think that the absolute best move they could make is to put it on a babyface so that Liv could beat that babyface to get more heat on Liv so that when Rhea comes back, she has a hot heel Liv to beat for the title.
Yeah.
So I think you have to put it on a babyface to start so that, 2, 3 months down the line, when you're getting ready for Rhea to come back soon, but not quite yet, that's when you pull the trigger on having you switch it over to Liv as a heel. And that also gives you more time to build Liv up as a heel since, like, right now she's freshly turned.
Yeah.
And, because if you give the title to Liv right now, if Rhea isn't going to be back until like September, you've got to wait 5 months to try and keep her hot for Rhea to come back. Like that, I'm not saying it's untenable. It's just unnecessary. You don't need to do that. So you put the title on a babyface for now. Maybe at SummerSlam or Bash in Berlin, you have Liv win the title as a heel, and then Rhea can return soon after to confront her and even win the title quickly afterwards.
Yeah.
Or maybe you even draft Rhea to SmackDown. I don't even know, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I do think it should be a babyface, and because of that, I low key kind of lean Indy Hartwell.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then maybe, I don't know, does Candace take it off of her? Because Candace has been,
Well, no, I'm
trying to
thinking
do
I'm
something.
still leaning towards the idea of Liv being there to take it off of her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Although, you know what though, that wouldn't even work because Indy just embraced Candace's heel work, her like heelish tactics in the last tag match, so that wouldn't even work.
Yeah, true, true.
Oh, you can't put it on Natalia. Anyone but Natalia.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, you weren't kidding about a barren division, man.
It really is, dude. It
If
really
I didn't care
is.
about like preserving the aura that Rhea kind of gave that championship, I honestly say fuck it, Chelsea Green. I love Chelsea Green, man. I don't give a shit. Like, put that belt on her and have her have these hilarious segments where she scrolls
Yeah.
by with the title every week.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, dude? Here's another option. Um, maybe it's a reach. Lyra, maybe as a call up.
Maybe as a call up, I do like Foster's idea of giving it to Shayna because I don't think her and Zoe Stark are a heel tag team, so she shouldn't be seen internally as a heel in my mind. But they never let Shayna win anything, so that's kind of the problem with that whole plan.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. The
Yeah,
thing is though, do we really want Liv Morgan to be the heel going against a babyface Shayna Baszler? That doesn't make any sense to me.
no, no. The psychology is fucked right after the bell rings.
It feels like it's either got to go to Becky for like the chalk, Natalia as like a thanks for your service kind of move, or a total shock, like a fucking Piper Niven or like a fucking Tegan Knox type thing, like out of left field type move.
Yeah,
So that'll be my official prediction. It's either going to be the chalk move with Becky just winning it. I really hope they don't do that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. Um, or I mean, I guess they could just put it on Liv, which I think those are the top two. They have to be the top two most likely picks.
yeah,
But I also feel like they're two of the worst possible picks because again, like we've committed so much character assassination on Becky Lynch already by having her make her feud with Rhea about the honor of her daughter and then losing clean.
Yeah.
And now she's going to be like, oh, good. I'm glad that Rhea is finally gone. Now I can finally win the title that I could never beat her for. She looks so bad.
Yeah. They'll figure something out.
Oh,
How do we feel with Sheamus back? I think it's great to see him back. I've missed him in the ring.
yeah. I mean, I've never really been excited about Sheamus in the ring personally, but I'm glad to see him back. And he's happy to be back. And I know he's dealt with a lot of body shaming on Twitter and he's working his ass off to get back in pre-injury shape, I'm sure.
Which yeah, keep it
I,
classy, guys.
from what I
You know.
understand, he rushed coming back so that he could be back before the draft began.
Okay.
So that's nothing you can really say about that. But yeah, I mean, Sheamus has never really been my favorite. So
That's understandable. I like Sheamus as a babyface. He might even stay that way, given the developments in the main event. I thought he would just be an easy like heel turn, but we'll see about that. Already talked about the new Raw tag titles during our SmackDown recap. DIY is going to be the first challengers for him. Yippee! Like you said, Indy embraced Candice as cheating, and they won this week against Ivy and Maxine. Andrade beats Dominic. Dude, I'm only cool with this Andrade Judgment Day feud if it gets him in the ring with Priest for the title. Like, I'm just gonna, be out with it. Like, I want to see Andrade in that main
I
event.
really hope you're right, man, because we were talking about Santos getting a world title run earlier, and it made me think like, oh, who's the other champion again? It would be nice if you could go against Seth, but like, no, it's another heel. It's Priest. And then I was like, wait a minute. Santos has a baby face mirror on Raw. It's Andrade. He could do
Yeah,
it. He could get the title shot against Priest. I would love that. That should be, that should definitely be a thing. I don't know if it's going to happen at Backlash. Actually, do we know if Priest has a contender for
Jey
Backlash?
Uso. Jey Uso should be Backlash.
Oh, right. Do we know what the next pay per view after Backlash is?
No, because I don't think it's Money in the Bank.
Huh. It's probably a Saudi show then, right?
Probably a Saudi show, but I don't know for sure.
I'm going to do a quick Google job. Yeah, it is. It's King and Queen of the Ring.
Okay, okay.
And that is June 9th. But then literally boom 1 week after that is or 2 weeks after that rather is Battleground.
Okay, wow. All right,
And then a
well,
week after that is Clash at the Castle.
okay.
There's a lot going on this summer, man.
Yeah, that is nuts.
We've got Backlash May 4th, King and Queen of the Ring May 25th, Battleground June 9th, Clash at the Castle June 15th, Money in the Bank July 6th, NXT Heatwave July 7th, SummerSlam August 3rd, and then Bash in Berlin August 31st. So
Okay,
that's a
yeah,
grand total of 8 PLEs between main roster and NXT before the end of the summer.
yeah.
Now, granted, the summer hasn't even technically started yet, but still, that seems like a lot. It's an average of 2 a month.
Well, hopefully Andrade can get in there and get some pay-per-view work with Priest, because I really want to see those two cook, especially because Andrade continues to be a Judgment Day problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, let's be real. He can beat JD McDonough. So maybe Andrade has probably just one match. I can't imagine it being a feud with Finn, and then he gets to Priest. But we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
We know Finn lost to Jey Uso this week, and Priest tried to get the jump on him, but it didn't really work. We also know that Finn and Priest, a little change in the relationship there, because we know Finn was like, Damian, I just thought we would go and get the tag titles back. But now you've got this world title business. And Priest said, look, I need you to be the demon tonight. I need you to take Jay out. Obviously, that didn't work, but it's just interesting that, commentary even floated the idea like, oh, is Finn jealous? We know he tried to pursue the world title when Seth held it and he couldn't get it done. And now Judgment Day is with the world title, but it's on Priest. And I'm thinking, yeah, is this where Finn goes back to being babyface at some point and feuds with Priest? So this world title reign, I mean, it might be enough to get us through the Cody reign, because I am not trying to watch a single segment of that shit. I am actively trying to avoid it because not my world champion. So yeah, that's everything that Priest got going on, and I really do hope Andrade can meet him there. Let me see. Is the only other thing to talk about the big main event here? Because obviously something popped off there, ignoring him. Oh, I will say Chelsea and Piper beat Caden and Katana, and I loved
Hooray!
afterwards. They gave like one of those Raw exclusive interviews, and Piper was like, and this train is gonna mow everyone down or something like that. And then Chelsea leaned on the mic and she was like, choo choo, and she laughed. This woman's ability to pop herself is god tier, and I'm here for it. If anybody deserves to pop themselves, it's Chelsea motherfucking Green. So
And let's
good
not
for her,
allow
I say.
ourselves to forget that when she pops herself, she also pops a wide portion of the audience, including my face.
Yes. God, I'm telling you, Chelsea for Money in the Bank. I thought I didn't have any inspiration left in me. I'm like, oh, why do a campaign this year? You're always wrong. And then Chelsea happened, and I'm like, oh my God,
Time
the
to be
fucking dream.
wrong with more fun involved.
Exactly. The fucking dream right here. Chelsea in the bank. Chelsea making green 2024, baby.
I love that.
Um,
I love that so
Oh,
much.
Foster, not only am I going to do this to myself again, I'm going to do it to myself again, even harder this time. And so
Die
it is
hard,
going to.
hard, hard, harder.
It is going to be great. And not as great, though, as the tracking shot that we did after Jay won his match, walking all the way through the arena and stumbling upon Sami Zayn. What you doing out here, Oos? And Sammy's like, yo, man, I saw my first wrestling match here. To think that it would all come full circle and I'd walk back in here Intercontinental Champion. It's amazing. Yeet. And I still need, Usos 2.0 as far as I'm concerned. Sammy Uso, Honorary Uso, Jay Uso. I need them to be Raw Tag Team Champions. I need them to be, if they get drafted, I just need them to be Tag Team Champions. Period. And because I know, oh, Jimmy, oh my God, Jimmy got what he deserved. He was in the way, and life happened to him, and his face that's boasted of nothing but its own incompetence and just being a twin. Okay, Sammy is your real brother, Jay. Win the tag titles with him, and when Jimmy's like, "Yo, Oos, let's get back together," you saw what Solo did to me, right? I can't believe it, but you're my brother. You got me, right? No eat. And then you walk out with Sammy. Yeah, greatest tag team champions of all time. I need it in my life. So get that done. But then Sammy walks to the arena. Massive ovation. He is a god there. It's Montreal. It's his fucking town. And yeah, had the match with Chad. I thought this was another great, really well wrestled match. Bro, Chad Gable, you can't tell me he's not maximizing his minutes in the ring. I think one of my favorite spots in this was when Gable went for a moonsault. Sammy got the feet up, but Gable caught him and he turned it into an ankle lock. I popped hard for that. What'd you think of this match this week, man?
Oh yeah, I mean the match was really good. Beautiful storytelling, really well done. Made it very clear that while Chad is a phenomenal technical wrestler, Sammy's heart and him not being lacking in technical ability himself is just flat out superior. Made it very clear that if they were to go one on one 11 times, Chad would be lucky to win one.
Damn.
I mean, I'm just not trying to shit on Chad. I'm just saying, like, that's the way that the match felt to me. It made it very clear. Like, Chad is an incredible technical wrestler, but Sammy is too. But then Sammy also has that extra oomph, that chutzpah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the chutzpah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
feel you on
Chad
that.
is, kind of lacking in, which at the end of the day, it literally just boils down to booking. They could book Chad to have that extra chutzpah as well if they wanted to. They just choose not to because he's a little man.
Oh, the way you said that was great.
By the way,
Yeah,
I watched and there were comparison shots. Someone posted this on Reddit. It's actually currently the number one most like the hottest thread on the Squared Circle subreddit. It's a comparison of camera cuts for Sami Zayn's Montreal entrances between this Monday and I believe the last Raw that they had in Montreal, which would have been like February 2023 or so, when
yeah,
Kevin Dunn was still producing the show.
yeah.
The Kevin Dunn produced show makes camera cuts 18 times before this Monday Night Raw's cuts once.
Wow. Jeez, it's a new era, baby. It's the cinema era. You
Yeah.
gotta love it.
By the end of the clip, the cut count is done era 24, current era 6.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's pretty fantastic. And honestly, the comparison, the first one feels so overproduced, and the second one feels so much more organic and real. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, this was great. I thought this was a phenomenal matchup. On a cinematic level, I loved how, Sammy's entrance was filmed. And I just love what they're doing with the camera over there now more than I ever have. Um, Sammy does win. I love that he sells it. I think one fan even pointed out that they love the psychology of this match because as it progressed, Chad was getting, more unhinged and a bit more like violent, especially with the ankle lock, the trash talk. You stole this from me. You stole this from me. So they really said that they were slowly heating up Chad for this heel turn, and then the bell rang, and then he did a heel turn. Honestly, that'll probably go underrated by some folks for a little bit, but I think it'll really gain credit, gain prestige as the years go by. Sammy's hugging his wife, and Chad, because they've played up his freakish strength, pulls Sammy from his wife's arms and German suplexes him on the floor. That's cold fucking blooded, my dude. That's cold blooded.
I mean, dude,
Uh,
it's, you know what though? It comes full circle because what led to us getting here in the first place, Gunther making Chad's family cry.
yeah,
Hurt people, hurt people.
yeah. And
If Chad can't avenge someone else making his family cry, fuck it. He's going to make someone else's family cry.
yeah, yeah. I really like this heel turn. I like the ankle lock in like the ropes as he's looking at Sammy's wife. Sammy, of course, sold it beautifully because he's one of the best sellers in the game right now, and an art that is, eerily dying in certain parts of the wrestling world. So I really commend him for that. I think Chad, I know a lot of people are rooting for heel wrestling machine Chad Gable. I've heard reports that he's going to form a new group with Alpha Academy.
With
Or
the
excuse me,
Creed
not Alpha
Bros.
Academy,
Yeah.
The Creed Bros, because he already has the Alpha Academy. So I'll tell you, that's definitely going to inform like our preview and predictions for like the draft, our mock draft on my side, because I'm like, oh man, now a certain scheme that I've got, with one of the brands is really coming together. And I think the Creed Bros and Chad would be a unit. I think this honestly would be an improved version for me of No Quarter Catch Crew because it's kind of taking a hit for me now with the whole Gulag controversy. And I do like Charlie Dempsey, but he still needs more seasoning. These guys, though, let's do it. Let's fucking out wrestle everybody and let's be fucking mean doing it. I went back a few days ago and I saw the clip of Kurt Angle breaking Randy Orton's ankle in the King of the Ring tournament. That's the fucking energy we need. So I'm hoping we get one more match between heel Gable and Sammy. And because he's a heel, he's finally able to win the Intercontinental title. And again, if Sammy's able to get past him, I do expect a KO feud to be the big feud. But if Gable wins, which I feel like is kind of the direction now, because why turn him heel if he's not going to win the title? I could see this being the guy that Sheamus beats, just because I think WWE would really love an idea where like the smaller guy is the heel because he's such a really, really good wrestler, and Sheamus kind of struggling against that. So, just kind of my thoughts there. And yeah, fucking divorce is like, give me Gable. And yeah, dude, I'm telling you, so many people are hyped about that. There were people that wanted Sammy and Gable to have a 30-minute Iron Man match at Backlash for the title, which again, I'm not opposed to. Get fucking crazy with the match types so long as they make sense. And, Iron Man match, it's about going the distance. And, both those guys got cardio for fucking days. So yeah, that was essentially Raw. Can't really think of anything else to talk about. So I guess now I'll check it. Actually, no, just check in with you real quick on one thing because I was going to ask our usual question. Did you watch any AEW this week? Because I didn't. Is there anything you want to talk about?
I watched a little bit, a little.
All right. Well, I don't think that's worth talking about. So I think we can move on to our next segment. Did you do any extracurriculars this week?
I did not.
I didn't either. So let's open this up for Q&A, everybody. Ask your questions.
Mariah May lost to Deonna Purrazzo this week.
That's gross. Don't really
Yeah.
like that.
No.
Oh, yes, yes, bestie. We did see Drew kick the TV. I didn't remark on it though because I want a full DM Hunk segment. I want to eat. I want to see him on the freaking mic. Him kicking the TV. That's more pouty than trolly, and I love seeing him as a hater. You know, DM Hunk, baby. Drew McInhater. Get it done.
Your son asked the question.
Oh my god. How was your 420? Abel, it was fantastic. I am really thankful that I'm staying cognizant of where I am at all times. There are a few times I've definitely been close to losing the plot. So Caster Sales. So if Swerve wins this Sunday, will you be willing to watch AEW again? Honestly, for me, I think that ship has sailed. I don't really know if anything could really get me to watch AEW again because it's just the culture of that company. And when you find a culture so noxious you can't watch it, it just infects every performer. The performer doesn't cure it. So it's a very negative position to be in. But I do hope Swerve wins the title. I wish him the best of luck. I think he should be the world champion. And I guess we'll just have to see how everything else goes. Javaris asked, or actually, no, before Javaris, Foster said, if Trick wins the belt, who would you like to be his first challenger? I don't know.
Dijak.
If Dijak wasn't tied up seemingly with the North American title, hell yeah, go after Trek. I think that'd be awesome.
He loses to Oba and then says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm ambitious. I'll go after the world champ instead.
Exactly. Dijak, man, it's amazing that he's putting other people over and he's making them look great. I want him to get his flowers one of these days. I'm just starting to doubt if it ever will. Javar is asking you specifically. So, Ashton, do you think Tony's is going to fumble tomorrow night? That's a very broad question. So, if you do think he's going to fumble, I'll put you in the hot seat and I'll have you get more specific. What do you think he's going to fumble, especially?
No, he's asking specifically if I think that Antonius is going to fumble, putting the obvious choice of putting the title on Swerve. And honestly, yeah, I do. I think he's going to fuck it up. I think he's going to find a way to logic and explain away choosing yet again to not put the title on a black man for the first time ever and keep it on Joe just a little longer, maybe a lot longer. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I really do. I literally, you got to realize, John, earlier on, I attempted to bet on Samoa Joe to retain
Yeah.
because he's going right now at plus 550 odds. I wanted to put $10. Actually, I was gonna just put $5 down. But I tried to sign up for Bet Online, and their minimum deposit is $25, and they also charge a damn near 10% deposit fee. So I would have had to invest almost $28 just to bet against Tony Khan, and he's not worth it to me.
No, certainly not. Yeah, I don't see it going well for our man Swerve. We'll just have to see. But yeah, let's see if we've got
And
any
let's
other.
be real, Swerve should have been a world champion in literally any of the companies that he's worked in, whether it be Lucha Underground or NXT or WWE or AEW a long ass time ago. So the fact that we're still talking about him potentially not winning a world title in the year of our Lord 2024 is actual horseshit.
Preach. I'm not gonna disagree with you, and I think you said it all impeccably. I would like to see if there are any other questions here. Abel, who else begged as fuck? Clearly me. Super Blue, what new stuff came out on Drew? And nothing new, Super Blue. It's just the things that Ronda Rousey initially accused him of have stuck big time. And yeah, he's probably never coming back. I think he's done. I don't think this is a wait and see thing. Although I guess if he was done, I'm surprised he wasn't part of that batch of releases yesterday. Jinder, Zaya, and Zion. So yeah,
Oh
we'll have
yeah,
to see.
and Veer and
Senga, right?
yeah, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, because I wouldn't have remembered Veer. So yeah, that was rough. Let's see. Javaris, is there a chance that Keith just leaves WWE and come back to WWE because Hunter actually knew what to do with him? I think Keith's got to heal first, man. Didn't you just tell me, Ashton, that he's having back problems? So wouldn't even know his in-ring status.
Yeah, I don't know
What?
when he's gonna be back. I feel like I remember when we first read up about his injury, having this bad gut feeling that we wouldn't see him until the second half of the year, if not 2025.
Yeah, it's rough, Javaris. I know, you're the biggest Keith Lee fan on earth. and you really want to see that dude tear it up. And like, it's amazing to me again that like WWE messed around with him too much. You know, it almost makes me think that Keith just came along in the wrong era, because I really do think he would do better in this era. Um, and you know, Tony Khan just does not seem interested in pushing him at all, which is a shame because he's just so freaking talented. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, Let me see. New questions here. Super Blue, how do you feel about Super Juniors 31? Really, honestly, at this moment, Super Blue, I haven't thought about it. I'm not really invested, so I can't really say that I have thought about it at all. And I'm pretty sure I speak for Ashton the same way. Is that
No,
correct, sir?
you actually you thought about it less than me. I've thought about it more than you because I'm aware of certain things that are happening, and it's fucking garbage.
Oh God, that's awful. You know, I thought this was going like, oh, I know more than you, and actually, you know, something interesting's happening, but no, no, just, of course. God damn it, New Japan, what are you
It's
doing?
pure trash.
Trish. Yeah, well, you know, that sucks. I mean, come on, New Japan. What are you doing?
Yo
Let's,
got injured, bro. Yo got
yeah.
injured, and they had the opportunity to correct their mistake and put Mustafa Ali in the fucking tournament.
And they decided not to do that, I take it.
They put Kushida in it instead.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's see. Um, oh God, Abel. Favorite gender memory when he lost the WWE title to AJ Styles, because I knew we could start enjoying the championship again.
I mean, his promo earlier this year where The Rock interrupted him.
Yeah, yeah, that was something. That was really something. Let's see. Foster, sorry if this ain't necessarily a weekly question, but is there any wrestler that you're following that you don't talk about as much? Um, no, I don't think so, Foster. I don't think so. I feel like everybody that we are following, we're you know, we give good of word of mouth about, you know, we talk about pretty regularly. So let's see here. And Foster said he asked because I'm starting to follow CMLL more. That's really cool,
Oh yeah, that is
Foster.
cool.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Does
All
Maria
right.
count? Like Joshi Maria? Because we don't really talk about her that much.
No, we don't. I wish I knew what she was doing, man. She's great. I love Maria. But then again, who doesn't?
I mean,
You
people
know?
who don't know about her, which is most people.
That seems like a problem.
I
That
agree.
actually not even seems like a problem. That doesn't encapsulate my hate enough. That seems utterly disgusting to me. She should be known the world over because she's precious and incredibly talented. So, with that said, let's see. Javaris, so not swerve. Do you think Tony is just waits out the time until either Cole or MJF get cleared to take the belt off Joe? I was actually thinking MJF, Javaris, at one point. I have no idea about Cole. I cannot even begin to talk about his timetable. But yeah, I could see it. I could see MJF getting clear, and then they're just like, "Oh, okay, Joe. Now you can give him the win back, and you know we're good. We don't have to do this stuff with Swerve. Thanks, Swerve. But the crowd really likes me. Yeah, that doesn't matter to me. Get out."
I mean, dude,
Uh,
even then, I feel like Swerve has cooled off so much just since like January.
yeah, I think because people wanted the title change so much sooner, and Tony fucked around, and he's finding out. Like he can't maintain somebody's heat. He can't maintain somebody's electricity. Like it happened with Wardlow too. You know, it's like these people just their momentum can't be maintained, and it sucks. So we'll have to see. Abel, have you acknowledged Tribal Chief today? Every day, son. Every day. Roman Reigns, greatest world champion of all time. I hate our new world champion. I think he sucks. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So did you know Riddle lost his TV? I
Title.
guess you meant to say title. Yeah, title to ZSJ. I did not, but that TV title looks fucking hideous. So I was really hoping Zach wouldn't wear it again. I just kind of want him to win a G1 or something and finally become the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, because I mean New Japan's a Gaijin promotion now anyway. So why the fuck not? Might as well give it to one of the more talented ones there. Javaris, I want Maria and Marigold. Absolute dude, she'd kill it there. I want to see her versus Utami, and I'd love to see her versus Julia before Julia leaves. Um, Fortunately, I don't think that'll happen. But hey, man, Joshi is crazy right now. I don't think there's anything too out of bounds, speculatively speaking. Um, any other questions, guys?
Hmm. We might be done here.
We might be done here. I think I'm going to move on to our, my son's favorite segment, high spots and low shots. I'm going to say my low shot is Chad Gable. I mean, yeah, you turned heel and you attacked him in front of his wife, but after the match. So you didn't win the Intercontinental title, and it broke you so much that you thought your principles were worth forsaking, and you did. I'd say that's a pretty low week, my guy. So who's your low shot?
My low shot is going to be Paul Heyman because he is fucking reeling right now and he has lost all of his power and he has nothing he can do about it.
High spot, definitely me, but in being serious, the actual high spot this week, hmm. You know what? Screw it. It's Allen. Allen. Allen's
Yeah,
the
that's a
number
good
one contender.
good call.
Yeah. Yeah. Got his win back over a guy that he hates, prevented that guy from becoming world champion, is now going to go on and challenge that world champion. And he didn't get splinters from interacting with a guy with a stick up his ass. This is an absolute win for Allen this week. Who's your high spot?
Damn. I don't know if I can beat that honestly. Hmm. Um you know what? Actually, yeah, I'm gonna make mine a little bit more simple. My high spot's the Street Profits. I was really happy that they won the tag contendership match.
Nice.
Montez had an amazing spot where he did an over the turnbuckles dive that was really the highlight of SmackDown, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I like that, man. I dig it. All right, y'all. This has been the weekend review. I'm John. That's my core and commentary Ashton. Guys, be sure to leave a like as you file out. Subscribe, click that bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And yeah, guys, we will see you actually Wednesday. Next Wednesday at 5 for Extreme Rules 09 Patreon Request to Request Live, courtesy of Dominique Abrams. So thank you,
What did you
Dom.
call him?
Uh, Abrams. Oh, actually, no, I don't know. Huh.
Dominique
But
Adams.
Dominique Adams, yeah, you know what? I think there was a Dominique Adams I used to go to high school with. So I'm clearly blitzed out all over. Apologies, Dominique. Apologize for that, my man. But yes, Chaotic Dom on his evil ways going to have us react to Extreme Rules 09, which I believe had Batista versus Randy Orton in a steel cage match for the WWE Championship. So that is going to be very interesting. And again, that's Wednesday at 5. Then Thursday, of course, we've got Stardom recap, 7 p.m. And then, however long it goes, we'll round up a half hour and then we'll add an hour, round up an hour and then add a half hour. Jesus, I got there. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time. That's gonna be the mock draft. So you'll know what time it is when we go off stardom because we'll reiterate. We'll have a concrete time then. So there you go. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll see you then. And of course, if you're a Discord member, be sure to join us for Raw, NXT, and SmackDown this week. We'll be in the live wrestling discussion, and it's always a good time. I really enjoy it there. So, all right, everybody, be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.